Son of a bitch.
We're back. Yeah, you missed the first half of it, but it's what I always say. Because I didn't have the mic on. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Phantasy Star Universe Ambition of the Illuminus. We're gonna pick up literally right where we left off last time, as always. With Lackery's little no commentary playthrough. So we're between chapters as usual. Let's speed this shit up. We'll get right into chapter 5. We finished chapter 4 yesterday, which was called Shadows of Conspiracy.
Welcome. Take a look around. Can I help you? Please come again. Welcome. Take a look around. Please come again.
It's the first time we see them use the other elevator. Well, here we go. Valley of Suspicion. Classified mission from headquarters. Investigate the abandoned Bistonia mine on the planet Motube to search for the missing Professor Tom Rain. Alright. After completing the mission to capture the Hive, Laia and her team returned to the colony and were given an in-depth medical exam. To his dismay, Hyuga was asked to retake the examination. During all this, there was a terrorist attack and Laia, along with Maya, her former training school buddy, teamed up to purify the escaped native creatures that were previously being used in experiments. Amidst all the chaos, even Headmaster Knave and President Dalgun lent a hand in the purification process. For Laia, this was an unwelcome reunion with her adoptive father, President Dalgun. That's his name, Dalgun. It's too many motherfuckers, dude. I can't remember them all. Then it was discovered that Professor Tom Rain was abducted. This explains why Laia is so angry at Ethan trying to have, you know, if it's true that he attempted to assassinate the president, because that was her adoptive father. So there's obviously some personal feelings there. That's probably why she's like the most gung-ho about trying to bring Ethan to justice for trying to kill him. That's my dad, bitch, basically. Even though they obviously have a rough relationship, she obviously still loves him. Alright, give him a sec.
Son of a bitch.
Episode 2, Chapter 5. Canyon of Intrigue. That's gonna be interesting. Oh, I don't have this clicked in. Alright, give me 1 sec. Had to run out to get something real quick. I was like, shit, can I make it back in time? And yes, I made it just in time for the intro to finish. Alright. What's up, Mina? Mina says her usual tagline. Welcome to the Guardians, protecting the future of Garal. I've confirmed your Guardian's license. Has to do this every time. Today you'll be conducting an investigation at the Bistonia mine on the planet Motube. Going back to Motube. I will... Oh shit, Lou interjects. I will explain it to you in detail. Lai says, why? Is the situation complicated or something? Lou says it is extremely classified information, so we can't discuss it here. Lai says, what? Am I going to have to sign another non-disclosure agreement? Lou says, we don't need your signature. Lai says, then we should be able to talk about it here! You bastard! Lou says, this mission is a top secret mission, so we cannot discuss it here. Bruh. We would typically require its participants to sign a non-disclosure... Here we go. Agreement. But not this time, why? However, you and your party are exempt from that requirement from now on. Why? By order of the president. Oh shit, we're getting special treatment. Here we go. Lia's about to blow up. Mina says, wow, Lia, you're getting some VIP treatment, aren't you? Mina, did you really have to, like... She just rubbed it in. Here we go. Do you think you're going to get promoted soon or something? Lia says, as if!
Oh, shit!
Basically. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. Lou says, well then, I will give you the details in the mission room. Mina says, may the holy light guide you. I was mostly right about this game. Most of the voice acting was literally just in the opening scenes. After that, it's literally all just, you know, you gotta narrate the whole thing. I think it's just because they couldn't find a way to not make it awkward, to have a voiced over scene with your character kind of just chilling there. FF14 found a way, but that came out many years later after this, right? But with these guys, they obviously couldn't find, you know, your character's obviously in every single cutscene after the opening movie and all that. So they just couldn't find like an appropriate moment, and they were probably like, well, let's save this money on budget, you know. We'll just have a couple voice lines at the beginning of the game, and then after that, it's like, fuck it, you know. It is, after all, just an expansion pack, right? For the base game, so. Lou says, for this mission, you will be conducting a search for Professor Tom Rain. And it's not like this game got the same level of success and popularity as like FF14, so that's why I'm saying it that way. Lia says, where? Lou says, at the Bistonia mine in the East Kugu Desert on Motu. It was closed down approximately 600 years ago, and is currently abandoned. Lia says, so that's where we think Tom Rain's being held, eh? Lou says, perhaps, although the probability is less than 7%. Based on what metrics? It is merely a guess based on logs from a captured mole. She answered my question immediately after. Okay. Lia says, you've already caught a mole? They haven't confessed yet, have they? Lou says the mole has been silent about his own participation in recent events. But he has admitted that he sides with the Illuminus' human fundamentalist ideals. Also, they are one and the same. Lia says, so the Illuminus are behind the professor's abduction, too. And that means that the Illuminus are probably hiding out in the abandoned mine? Hold on a second. When we were in Motube searching for Ethan, That experiment facility where we found Magashi was in a mine, wasn't it? Lou says that is correct. You went there with the Lou from the Motube Guardians branch. And you will be going to a different mine this time. There are numerous abandoned mines in that area. There is a suspicion that the Illuminus are juggling their hideout locations. Laya says, I see. So that's the top secret mission? There is only a 7% chance we will find the professor, but the chances that we'll encounter the Illuminus are much higher. Lou says 99.96% to be precise. Laya says, good stuff. Good shit. Lou says, then let us depart quickly. Laya says, hold on, one more thing. Why did the tone just change like that suddenly? Can you tell me the name of the idiot mole? Lou says, Lobriel Manart, a human from Perum. Laya says, it's sort of disappointing it's someone I've never heard of before. We got a tinfoil of hats on. I was sure it'd be Ethan Weber. That's what she suspected, huh? Lou says, Ethan Weber was among the names of the members he disclosed. Laya says, aha! Just as I thought. Lou says, but it could be an attempt by the Illuminus to deceive us. At the present time, headquarters is undecided as to what it believes. The Guardian's intelligence section is currently conducting covert investigations of many of the names he gave us. Laya says, what about you? Do you think these charges against Ethan are false? Lou says there is a 1.7% possibility of that. Laya says, that sounds pretty guilty to me. Lou says, however, the President and Headmaster Knave both feel it is a false charge. Somebody's trying to get him out of the picture, huh? Laya says, those two are so naive. Of course, I don't think you're a mole, but to be on the safe side... I don't think you're a mole, but to be on the safe side... Keep in mind that I'd never forgive someone who betrayed their... partners. Is that a threat to us? He's low-key threatening us. If you start acting strange, I won't hesitate to stick a sword in you myself!
Ah! You bastard!
You got that? Now she's threatening Lou, too. She's threatening both of us, man.
Fuck!
Lou says, please be careful from here on out. Laya says, huh? You're not coming with us? Lou says, from here on out, please follow Headmaster Knave's directions. Knave says, you made it! Okay, I think the tinfoil hat time is gone for now. Laya says, Headmaster Knave!
Dylan!
Knave says, whoa! Keep it down!
Son of a bitch!
I took the trouble to go undercover so I wouldn't draw attention. That's undercover? What the fuck? Laya says, but you'd be recognized anywhere in the solar system. That's kind of true, yeah. Anyway, you're up to something again, aren't you? Nave says, what do you mean again? What are you trying to accuse me of? He's playing dumb. President recommended you as partners. Laya says, oh, did he? Nave says, indeed. When you're investigating a group as dangerous as the Illuminus, you've got to have people you can trust completely. Laya says, what a sweet talker. Lou says, there are more than a few Guardians who don't like the fact that the President opposes the Illuminus philosophy so completely. Oh shit, so we actually have people amongst our ranks who have a little bit of incentive to betray us. In other words, they're low-key like... It's like they heard, like, you know, Hitler or some incredibly racist dude telling a speech, and some of the Guardians were like, you know what, I think this guy's making some good points. I kind of like this guy, you know? That's basically what she just said. Like, if I read that correctly, she's saying there's people who sympathize with the Illuminus' human fundamentalist ideals. Right? Yeah, there are more than a few who don't like the fact that the president opposes the Illuminus philosophy so completely. So we have human fundamentalists in the Guardians. Racist bastards!
You bastard! Son of a bitch!
Nave says, besides, since I'm going on this mission myself, you'll need to be on your best behavior and be model Guardians. Laya says, I see. Well then, there's something that I've got to say to you. We got... Nave says, and what is that, my dear? Awesome. Laya says, if you touch my ass, or even so much as graze it, I will turn you into a spider! No. She says, I don't care what kind of danger we're facing, I'm out of here!
You suck, son of a bitch!
Nave says, you've got it all wrong, Laya. That's how I check your condition. Oh my god, so he's literally just owning up to it and saying, no, I might still do it, but trust me, it's for a good cause, I swear.
Bullshit!
You bastard!
Laya says, I'm not falling for your tricks, you dirty old man. Well, let's go to the Bastonia mine then. Well, now we have confirmation that he's grabbed her ass at one point before, just like he did Karen in the last episode. What is Nave's excuse? That's how he checks her condition? Yeah, I'll be sure to use that one the next time I get caught doing something similar. Jesus Christ. Of course he would say that. Holy shit. I'm just checking your health. That's I have sensors on my hands and fingers that can do that. I swear to God. It's just like...
Bruh. Bullshit!
Nave says, let's start looking for that abandoned mine. Unbelievable, this guy. Laya says, start looking? You mean it's not in this canyon? Oh, great. Nave says, the coordinates we got from our mole were very rough. This mine was abandoned centuries ago, so the records aren't very clear. And if it turns out to be an Illuminus hideout, the entrance is sure to be camouflaged. Laya says that's why we need more clues or ideas. Nave says if we had that, I wouldn't have bothered coming along. Laya says fair enough. Why would the Illuminus make their hideout in such a remote place? Nave says, long ago, Motube was a planet covered in greenery. Humans originally controlled Motube, you know. And then what happened? You can kind of see where this is going. I think we might have heard a brief summary of this backstory in the previous episode, but I forgot it. Laya says, that's the first time I've heard that. They didn't teach us that in school. They didn't teach us that in school. Maybe not. Nave says the history taught in schools is just a digest of the pioneering of the planets. Laya says, yeah, I guess so. They said that beasts developed the resources on this planet. Nave says, as slaves to the humans.
What? What the
Lai
fuck?
says, slaves? Doesn't surprise me one bit, honestly. Nave says, you knew that beasts were created by humans to utilize their physical strength, didn't you? The intro did say that all the other races were created by humans. They all stem from humans. You know, the androids are obviously just androids that are humanoid, right? The castes. And yeah, they said Numans and beasts are also human creations. So this tracks. I'm guessing they took humans and genetically engineered them somehow to be more adept at physical labor and like be more stronger physically, and those were the beasts. And then they made humans that were, I think they said this in the last episode too, that were more adept at using magic techniques, and those became the Numans. And then humans just stayed right in the middle, like a balance of the two. Nave says, well, the humans put beasts here to develop the planet's resources. That's the reason they would do that, yeah. On a rough planet like this. They worked as slaves. Aya says, that's terrible. Nave says, let me tell you something. If the beasts' revolt against human control were just a labor dispute, it's getting too real. It wouldn't have lasted for 500 years. There was some deeper shit there. To the beasts, it was a battle to end their own slavery. They were fighting for freedom. Nave says it's been a mere 100 years since the ceasefire agreement. That's not a long time compared to how long the war lasted. The four races have lived together under that and the Alliance military's protection ever since. Oh yeah, they turned the caste into the military. There we go. They automated the military. They made beasts for physical labor, though they could have just used caste for that too. And then Numans for using magic. Laya says, and the Illuminus want to roll back those 600 years? Starting to sound like it. That is unforgivable!
You bastard!
There you go. Get fired up, Laya. And he says, haha, now you're fired up, aren't you? It's almost like I predicted that's what he was gonna say. I had no idea though. I just happened to nail it. The whole fired up thing. Laya says, we don't have time to mess around. Let's hurry. She's on a mission now.
You son of a...
Go get him, Laya. This little montage of looking for the hideout. We got our character, Lackery, talking with Nave. Laya says, Headmaster, there's something out of place here. Oh shit, it's one of these computer terminals. Nave says, oh, it's some sort of computer terminal. Can you recover any of its data? Laya says, you're better at that stuff than me, aren't you? Nave says, haha, I guess so. Lately, I've been getting so used to relying on others. When I'm with you, I've got to start pulling my own weight, eh? He's used to other people just doing shit for him. That should keep me on my toes. Laya says, are you trying to guilt me into doing your work for you? Nave says, well, I am an old man. Maybe you should take it easy on me. Totally manipulating right now. Laya says, don't try to play the old man card.
You suck!
You're just as capable as I am and you know it.
Bullshit!
Nave says, hey, I've got something here. What do we got? The abandoned mine is up ahead, no doubt. Okay. Laya says, well, we're almost there. Here we go. I'll start. Find the Illuminus experiment facility.
Son of a bitch!
Take these fuckers out, including the fat little chickens. Kind of look like the dodo birds from FF14 a little. Just a little. What the? They've got lost. Insert old man meme code. The hell? Little cuties. What are all these machines doing here? That was Laya. Lucame says maybe the mine back there is what we came for. In the back, I'm guessing is what he means. He's saying, I think we found the place, basically. These are fucking robot guards they set up. And pretty much confirms it. We found their hideout. Here we go. File cleared. Found the Illuminus experiment facility.
You're quite good. Can you do better?
Oh my god, dude. He's ruthless.
Son of a bitch.
You remember the previous episode, I was wondering what he would say if you actually got an S. Now we know. Because whenever we were with him, with Ethan in the last episode, we would always get like an A. And Luke would just say, you need to put more effort into it. And now he actually praises us 100% this time. He said, you're pretty good. But then he still says, but can you do better? He doesn't want you getting complacent. He's like, you can always improve, bitch. Keep at it. Laia says, great. The experiment facility is up ahead. Just looting the whole place first. Loot goblin style. More stuff. Knave says the enemy sure is putting up a fight, aren't they? Laia says if they're gonna put a force that large here, they might as well just put up a sign saying entrance here. That's true. Could be a trap. This seems kind of shady. Oh, it sure looks like we're on the right track, doesn't it? Laia says we're going in. Shall we? Dave says make sure to check for traps. Proceed cautiously. Laia says, huh? What's going on? Hey, Laia! Don't run off alone! What just happened? Oh, that girl. Come on, let's catch up with her. What the fuck just happened? Did she see something? Laia says, huh? Knave says, you know, you really shouldn't run off like that. What? Did you say something? Laia says, no. Just a strange figure. Knave says, was it a new seed form or something? Laia says, no, nothing like that. I think it was Ethan Weber. Knave says, are you certain? Laia says he was dressed like a rogue or something. But I'm sure it was him. I wonder why they didn't let us see that. Knave says, what would he be doing in a place like this? Laia says, Headmaster, you're keeping something from me. Pretty obvious. What's going on? Is Ethan Weber an Illuminus spy? I heard that the mole gave up his name. Knave says, well, we can't just swallow everything that's been put in front of us. All of Ethan's friends stand up for him. We won't know the truth until we uncover it ourselves. Laia says, so you're saying you can't tell us? Knave says, I told you I don't know. You might as well have said you can't say anything, though. The way you worded it. Laia says, you're going to let him get away, aren't you? I don't know what your reasons are, but... we need our tinfoil hats on again. Maeve says that's enough! You can suspect him or hate him all you want. But this mission is about finding Professor Tom Rain. Please stay focused.
You bastard! You suck!
Laya says, fine. Maeve says, whew. Now let's cool our heads. Alright, the intermission player hub. Master Nave's kinda shady, man. Your mate's a shady, man. Your mate's a shady.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
Valley of Suspicion 2. The second half of the chapter, basically. The abandoned mine where Professor Tom Rain is suspected of being held by the Illuminus has been found. Infiltrate the experiment facility. Maeve says, I've confirmed it with headquarters. Ethan's whereabouts are still unknown. How are you doing, Laya? Have you calmed down a bit? Laya says, I'm telling you, I saw him right here. Again, it's interesting they didn't let us see anything. Like, it just zoomed in on her and she just freaked out and ran off. But you were right. This mission is about Professor Tom Rain. Maeve says, good. I'm glad that you're starting to get a little perspective. We're on to you, old man. Maeve says, come on, let's go see what's in the enemy hideout, shall we? Laya says, Ethan Weber. Next time we meet, I won't let you slip away so easily.
Son of a bitch!
Oops. I meant to hit the button again to cut that off before. But I hit spacebar instead. Alright, trial start. Head to the mine's core to search for Tom Rain. Well, here we go. We got antlion type enemies. I like how often we need our tinfoil hats for this. The ambition of the Illuminus. They definitely went with the plot twist conspiracy theory angle stuff pretty heavily. They didn't make the... I guess they... Yeah, I said it before. They tried to make things a little bit more interesting. Spice it up a little, you know? Give you a lot of mysterious things happen, like brings up a lot of questions. Keep you on your toes, so to speak. So you don't know what the hell's gonna actually happen next, that kind of thing. They put a little bit more effort into making it like that, basically. Hey, look, they brought back those cops. They made it a little less, like, straightforward, you know? There's a little bit of an element of mystery in the episode 1 as well, but it wasn't, it never felt that it went as... It never felt like it kind of went as deep. Or... It just wasn't as interesting. I think the pacing was off. Like... I think episode 1 was basically just twice as long, 2 times longer than it needed to be, with a lot of like mini filler. Like filler episodes that weren't technically filler, they were still part of the story, but like it felt like filler, you know? I think it's just so, that's just like, it's like the Realm Reborn curse for FF14. Like it's just because it's the base game, and it obviously has to have the most content, they have to like, right into the story excuses to introduce you to like all of the zones they worked so hard on for so many years, you know. And then everything after the base game, all the expansions after that, patches and all that stuff, it's like they can just drip feed little bits of content, so it's no longer like that. So the story can then just become a little bit more focused and, you know, not have the same sort of obligation to spread itself out across an enormous amount of zones. So there's less filler, basically. Fuck, man. All these fucking traps is just constant, like... Where is it?
A test of your reflexes!
Yeah, that. Bitch! Fucking insects. Build-A-Bear. Like Build-A-Bear? Level 21. Drinking age. That's cheap comedy. So I think in Canada it's still 18, right? I can't remember. If they ever changed it or not. I don't know. I don't think so, though. Nave says the mine's core is just ahead. Laya says, let's clear out these small fry quickly. Get their asses.
Son of a bitch! He's pulling his car now!
Let's do that in there for... Just fuck it, why not? Trial cleared! Damn!
Fuck!
Oh shit! Laya used her nanoblast? I didn't catch that. So I guess the way you customize your character affects your beast form as well? Because... So I saw, I didn't know, if she'd done that before, I definitely didn't see it. I don't think so, because I think they follow the rules about the fact that you have to be level 20 minimum. And this is the first mission we've done where she's over level 20. So I think we've definitely never seen her do that before because of that. But I had rated a streamer that had a female beast character, and when she transformed, you know, used a nanoblast, she was glowing red, not yellow. And I think the design was a little different too. I'm wondering if that's based on the design of the base character. Yeah, when did she change? During this fight. If she did it earlier, I definitely didn't catch it. Okay, I think that was a moment. Yeah, we didn't see it because there's just way too much other shit in the way and she's somewhere else. But I just heard her like scream in a way that sounded like she just transformed at that moment. Listen. I don't know what she said. There's too much shit going on, but she's in a fit of rage over there. I'm trying to get a good look at her. So, yellow fur, it looks like, and hair. Which, I guess that kind of matches like her base character model hair. Yeah. Okay. They gave her... Does she normally have those tattoos on her arms? I think they did, so they just changed, right? Something like that. She's like a whole foot taller. Yeah, right there. Look how tall she is when she's like not... Dude! She's insanely tall! Like at least twice our height, I think. Did a backflip. That's insane. But yeah, so the other one I saw was red, but I'm not sure if the markings on her body were the same. No, yeah, she doesn't... I didn't get a good look at her arm. I didn't see if she had the arm tattoos or not.
You need to put more effort into it.
Hey, fuck you, Knave!
You bastard!
No, she doesn't. So that is just something that's added for that. Yeah, no, I was like, I think she might have a tattoo on the other arm, but it's definitely not the same as like when she was transformed. That's pretty cool. I'm not used to seeing nanoblasts, so I was just like, yo, let me get a better look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh, you can't break those. Those are props. They're not actual boxes to loot from.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, we got baited. So yeah, I couldn't make out what she yelled though. She said something about like, I'm gonna fucking kill you or something like that. Obviously it was more PG rated than that, but you know, she was furious. We know that much. Oh, hold on, what the fuck is going on here? Also, yes, I did notice the detail that they're basically, well, at least from the waist down, it looks like when she was transformed, she was basically just naked and just had fur covering her lady bits, basically. The top half just had a bunch of tattoos. I did catch that. Hold on a second. Why is this? Oops. Guess I'm gonna need that thing after all. Alright, whatever. Anyway, I just had to adjust something real quick. Alright. So, Laya says, this doesn't look like a mine that's been neglected for 6 centuries. I still have yet to see the, No, yeah, we saw Tonio. Yeah, we saw him transform. I was like, I don't think I've seen the male transformation now. But again, it's probably different based on how you customize your character, which is kind of interesting. Since you can level up fast on Clementine, it kind of makes me want to create different, like, beast character models just to see how different the nanoblast transformation can be. I'm kind of curious about that now. Laya says, this doesn't look like a mine that's been neglected for 6 centuries. And Knave says, but so far we've encountered nothing but small fry. The Illuminus members might have left already. this was just a decoy left behind. Laya says, Headmaster, maybe you were fed false information. Or you're covering for somebody. Dave says, what? How rude.
What? You bastard! What the fuck?
Okay. You say so, old man. Laya says there's a computer terminal here. It looks really busted up, though. Nave says, let's see. Laya says we should have brought Lou with us. Yeah, would have made sense here. Nave says, leave it to me. Well, he's a cast too, so shouldn't be a problem. Nave says, aha! So that's it. Laya says, you got something, Headmaster? What do you got? Nave says, I've restored bits and pieces of data, but this can't be good news. Laya says, what? Is the professor alright? Nave says, I don't know. But there's something else.
Bruh.
Oh dear. Laya says it sounds serious. Like the satellite, that's what I was thinking of. She does have a tattoo that's similar to the one we saw when she was transformed, but it's only on this arm, right there. But it is similar, so there's some attention to detail they have there. Nave says this is an A-photon bomb research facility.
What?
I got ahead of it. Laya says, who's there? Oh, here we go again.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, it is Ethan. Laya says, stop! Ethan Weber!
You bastard!
He's wearing something different than last time we saw him, though. Laya says, don't be stupid. You can't run. He's gonna rip him a new one. There's a pause of silence. Nave says, Ethan? Wow, he dressed up. He's got some snazzy new outfit. Look at this. He upgraded from his old hoodie. His old hoodie sweatshirt get up that he had. Looks all sophisticated now. Ethan says, it's been a long time, Headmaster. A few months, come on. We saw the intro. Nave says, can you tell me what's going on around here? Laya says, capture him first, Headmaster. Oh, he's running! We got a runner! Ethan says, don't come any closer. If this device is struck, this whole facility will explode. Holy shit. Laya says, is that a threat? Nave says, knock it off! Both of you! Or we're all gonna blow up. First off, step away from that dangerous device, Ethan. We can't talk like this. We just want to talk. We'll have a little sit down. Ethan says, as you can see, there's nothing left here. Nave says, Ethan, what did you see here? Ethan says, you should know, Headmaster. Nave says, Olsen? Ethan says, not just that. The Illuminus has got some terrifying plans. Nave says, I've just learned of their plan to develop an A-photon bomb. Have they already vacated this place? Ethan says, it's worse than you think, Headmaster. They've already successfully developed an A-photon bomb. What's left is the prototype of a device that manufactures these bombs. It's using a reactor excavated from a relic site. Nave says,
What?
Ethan says, I got here just as the Illuminus soldiers were destroying the evidence. It looks like they vacated this place and have plans to set up shop somewhere else to begin mass production. Nave says, mass production? Ridiculous! One masterpiece is enough. There's a few people who will get that. The true fans know. Nave says, do you know anything else, Ethan? Ethan says they're calling the bomb the Sochi. Or Sochi. Probably Sochi. They're calling the bomb the Sochi. They plan to use both the A-photon bombs and the seed to obliterate all non-human races and create a new society. Holy shit. But how would they do that exactly? How would they only kill non-humans? Dave says, And what of Professor Tom Rain? Ethan says, unfortunately, I think they took him with them. Laya says, quit acting like you aren't involved with them!
You bastard!
Oh, shit!
She's getting fired up again. You had a hand in his abduction, didn't you?
You son of a...
Ethan says, no way! I had nothing to do with it! Laya says, that mole gave up your name. Oh shit, here we go. Ethan says nothing. Well, he pauses for a second, then says, it's true that the Illuminus tried to draw me to their side. Laya says, then quit running and hiding and try to clear your name. Ethan says, I've got to wait a little bit longer. Why? Dave says, tell me what you're waiting for, Ethan. We can help you. I added that last part. We can help you. Ethan says, until I figure out who to trust. Oh, shit! Dave says, Ethan, you can't trust the president? Laya says, aren't you in a sweet position? Just because you're the son of the president's best friend, you get special treatment. Well, Laya, you're the daughter of the actual president, though, so you're actually not too far removed. You actually have something in common with Ethan here a little bit, if you put it that way. Laya says, and you betrayed the president's trust! You betrayed the shareholders!
You bastard! Son of a bitch!
Get his ass, Laya! Also, the name Olsen. Isn't that Ethan's father? Olsen Weber? Laya says, because they said that earlier in this conversation, before they started, before Laya got all pissed off at Ethan. Laya says, aren't you ashamed of ruining your father's great name? Dave says, that's out of line, Laya. Ethan's father, Olsen, I was right, I remembered it. Ethan pauses for a moment. And he runs! Laya says, wait, you traitor!
You bastard!
If you don't stop, I'll put you in your grave and stop you myself! She just wants an excuse to fuck him up.
You son of a bitch!
Dave says, Laya, stop! Laya says, what are you doing? We've got to follow him! Dave says, stop! Laya says, why, Headmaster?
You son of a bitch!
Dave says, Ethan is searching for Professor Tom Rain and the bomb in his own way. He's after the same thing we are.
Oh, shit!
Laia says, but he's a wanted man. Dave says it's better to just let him go. He wouldn't betray us. Laia says, what makes you so sure? Dave says, just bear with me. Laia's pissed, she can't handle it. Is this what the president wants? Dave says, yes. Yes, it is. Laia says, I'm so disappointed in you and the president.
You suck!
Basically. Laia says, this mission was to search for Professor Tom Rain, correct? Oh, it's gonna fall. There. Like that, she's confirming, like that was what this was about, right? There was no hidden agenda? Nave says, yes, we'll have to report that part of the mission as a failure. Laia says, was there some other goal to the mission? Nave says, depending on the situation? Yeah. Depending on the situation, we were also to conduct an investigation of Ethan Weber. Oh, of course you didn't tell us that until now. Figures. I'm sorry to have kept that from you.
Do bullshit.
Laia says, if he hadn't been screwing around, we might have been able to do something for Professor Tom Rain. Dave says, to be honest, I didn't think we'd run into Ethan at all. It was enough to confirm he wasn't involved in the professor's abduction. Laia says, so you're saying even though you won't buy the mole's story, you'll buy Ethan's? He left that much of an impression. During episode 1, Nave says he is not a man who tells lies. I mean, yeah, he does have some credit. Credit where it's due and all that. The president and I both agree on this point. Laia says, I wonder. You two aren't as sharp as you used to be. Oh, damn. Talking shit. Throwing shade. Dave says the day will come when you two will understand. Foreshadowing. Maya's calling us up. She says, Laia, Headmaster Nave. Laia says, oh, it's you, Maya. What are you... Oh, wait, no, that was Nave. I didn't see where the chat bubble was actually coming from. Let me go back up. I guess I missed something there. Okay, so Nave says, oh, it's you, Maya. What are you going on about? Maya says, it's Hugo. Oh, shit. Hugo's missing.
What?
Oh, nailed it. That's what Laia said. What? Wasn't he at the hospital for the medical exams?
What?
Maya says he should be at the hospital in Parum, but he's not. Laia says, why'd they send him to Parum? I was about to ask that too. Maya says, I'll explain later. Please, I need your help. Laia says, alright, we'll hurry back to the colony. Guess we better go. Dave says, even Hugo can't catch a break in this. He trained them both, Ethan and Hugo, so... some attachment there. Laia says, sorry, but as soon as we get back, we've got another mission. Ain't no getting off of this train we're on. The mission to locate Professor Tom Rain ended in failure. In addition, Ethan managed to slip away once more. The Illuminus have created a new, powerful threat, an A-photon bomb dubbed Sochi. And finally, did Hugo disappear on his own, or did someone else have a hand in it? All these answers and more in the next episode of Fantasy Star Universe, Ambition of the Illuminus. I'll play the Dragon Ball Z outro music, you know? I don't have that on my soundboard, sadly, but I do have this. Luke Haim Nave has given you their partner card. Hey, we did it. I got that at least. The free mission below is now available at the mission counter shown. The Gora City Flyer Base, Mine Defense. Okay. Well, and there it is. All done. That takes care of that chapter / story mission. Are they going straight into the next one? I think they are. No character management this time. Yeah. Rescuing Hugo. Well, Hugo, who was hospitalized to undergo a medical exam, is missing. Rendezvous with Maya and conduct an investigation to recover him. You heard it here first, folks. That is the official teaser for the next episode. But for now, we're done. So we're leaving it here. So, as always, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate the support across Twitch and YouTube. Thank you very much. And as I always say, please do stay safe. Take care. Don't die. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And remember, when there's conspiracy theories afoot that require a tinfoil hat, and you don't know what the hell's going on, which way's up, which way's down, which way's left, which way's right, there's only one thing you can count on. And the one thing you can trust is don't die. Just stay alive, y'all. Just stay alive. Hold on for dear life. Join the Huddle Gang. It's the one thing you can trust. Survive, y'all. Survive.